I'm asking the question, are we raising lazy?
As people here on this earth, we are not meant to work for our money.
Do you get what they call, hungry? From helicopter parents, no sleepovers at friends' homes. You must keep his phone nearby and answer within 3 rings.
Don't you wish you had a mother like me? I mean, come on.
To Gen-Zers,
I'm there to do what I'm being paid to do. I'm not here to do someone else's job.
what the hell is going on? Tonight, I'm asking the question, are we raising lazy? I always say the older generation tends to look critically at the younger gens as if we had nothing to do with who they're becoming. Really? From helicopter parents to Gen-Zers who are quietly quitting, what the hell is going on? Well, tonight, let's solve that mystery, because this is truly a reap what you sow situation. To drive the point home, I have put together key moments from 2 recently taped episodes. So let's start tonight by looking at the parents.
Anywhere I go with my son, I have a concealed weapon in my purse and in my car. So I feel very secure that I would be able to take care of him if something should happen. If trouble comes about, I'm ready. I've been called Mama Bear because when it comes to my child, this mama, she just doesn't play. Until my son is of age, whatever age that may be, I'm not pushing the 18, I'm not pushing the 21. If he wants to be of age at 35, I'm fine with that. It is my job to protect him. Don't get me fired up about my baby.
But carrying a firearm everywhere she goes with her teen son is not the only way Gina claims to protect him. If it was, hey, I probably wouldn't even say anything about it. That's not all.
Stanton is the center of my life. Look at that smile. He looks like a little Barbie doll. He just blows the camera away. His gorgeous smile in his eyes. He needs for nothing, he wants for nothing. I am 100% there for him all the time. He's blowing mommy a kiss here. I have been called a helicopter mom, and I'm very proud of it. He is my first, my only, and my last. He's my only opportunity to get this right. That's just a little character just saying, aha, got you. Here's one with him saying, peekaboo. I am very protective of my child, his safety, his mental, his physical condition. I want him happy. I do not want to see him in distress. We, of course, decided to get cameras so that we could keep better protection over him. My child has never ridden a school bus because there are bullies. He does not go to the movies alone with anyone. Absolutely not. A mall alone, no. Going to other people's homes and spending the night, it's out of the question. There has never been a babysitter for Stanton. If he can't accompany us, then we don't need to go. When I take him to a park, I would not let him out of my sight at all. When I take Stanton to school or to church, I wait. I am not leaving my child until the door has closed. I won't say that there may not be an occasion where I have a car line and people honking, but they can just honk and go around me because I'm gonna watch my child. I'm still concerned of sending him to the mailbox by himself. I've told him what to do, but I still feel better knowing that he makes it back without getting hit by a car. I do not care if other parents judge me for the way that I'm parenting. Don't come in my lane trying to tell me what to do with my child.
All right, well, Gina, you proudly say you're a helicopter mom.
I do. I'm a very proud helicopter mom. I am the mama bear. I am the protector of my son. I can be called a coddler. I don't care. I'm gonna do it my way.
Okay, and that's just not up for negotiation.
It absolutely is not. He's my child.
I don't question at all that you want the best for your son. It's just how we define best and how we get there. Now, you say that this is my only chance to get it right. But so how do you decide what's right?
Everyone's right, I feel like, is based on their household. what best fits their family, because every decision you walk your child through, it's going to affect the rest of their life on into adulthood, their marriages, their children, which would be my grandchildren.
God, I hope you remember saying that. Everything you do with your child is going to affect what happens to them going forward, because we're not raising children, we're raising adults. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
How did you learn how to parent?
I didn't. I honestly...
You remember saying that too.
Yeah. I don't think there's a textbook. I don't think there's a book written. I just think that you have to, well, no offense, respectfully, Dr. Phil.
Actually, I did write a book about that.
Well, I didn't read it,
It's called
sorry.
Family First. It's sold millions of copies, actually. I'd be happy to get you a copy if you'd read it.
That would be nice.
I will.
Yes.
It actually comes with a workbook and everything where you can kind of sit and do it. So there is a manual.
I might tweak it a little bit if that's okay with you.
I'm sure you would. I'll get you the audiobook so you can't jack with it. No sleepovers at friends' homes. You must keep his phone nearby and answer within 3 rings. Can't go to movies with friends. No out of sight in the grocery store. You won't drive away until he walks into the school. You've got cameras around the house, inside the home.
Absolutely.
Not
I do.
outside, inside. You've got
Inside.
cameras in his room.
I do, and he knows it.
He's gonna discover some things about his body that he didn't know last year.
He let me know there's blind spots.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's good. He can't go to the mall alone with friends. He's not allowed to enter the gas station alone. He's homeschooled because of bullies. Friends' parents cannot give him rides.
Okay, and what's wrong with all those?
You have to be the chaperone on school trips. He can't leave the house with friends. So if he's got friends over and they want to go out, go to the park, he can't go.
Oh, absolutely not.
He can't ride his bike down the street. He moved schools 4 times because of bullies. He can't go to movies with friends. Why can't he go to a movie with friends?
Do you know the danger of sending a child into a movie theater unsupervised? You don't think pedophiles, you don't think that the sex traffickers, I mean, they're everywhere. And he does not foresee danger.
He doesn't?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Well, you may say it's my fault, but that's okay.
Is her parenting style really about Stanton? Is there a competing agenda here? I've got some questions for her when we come back. This episode is brought to you by Masa Chips. For decades, chips were fried in tallow until big corporations switched to cheap seed oils. Now, seed oils make up 20% of the average American's daily calories, linked to inflammation and metabolic issues. Masa is bringing back the good stuff with 3 simple ingredients: organic nixtamalized corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. No seed oils, no junk, just a crunchy, sturdy chip that won't break in your guac. Masa Chips is beloved by tens of thousands of customers and has been endorsed by industry-leading health and nutrition experts like Ben Greenfield and Gary Brecka. Ready to give Masa a try? Go to masachips.com/merit and use code MERIT for 25% off your first order. That's masachips.com/merit and code MERIT for 25% off your first order. After decades of treasured experiences and cherished moments, living your best life matters more than ever. Whether it's cheering on your grandchildren at their baseball games, planting new flowers in your yard, or simply spending quality time with loved ones, take Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements along with you. Made from ingredients of 31 whole fruits and vegetables, they are free from added fillers or binders. Embrace life's adventures with confidence. knowing you're getting a wide and colorful variety of ingredients made from whole fruits and vegetables every step of the way. Start your journey with Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get a free fiber and spice supplement, plus 35% off your first preferred set as a new preferred customer with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code Dr. Phil. That's DRPHIL.
I schedule my days around Stanton. I pick out Stanton's clothes. I love the color green on him. His eyes just really come out. Taxi driver, maid, cook, cleaning lady, school teacher, chef, whatever that is gonna make him happy and keep him well entertained. I do it all for him, and I love it.
Helicopter, snowplow, Velcro, lawnmower, even bulldozer, all buzzwords for a parenting style that many blame has helped create a generation of young people who think they can whine their way to success. I'm talking all ages. Gina was 40 years old when she learned her son's adoption at birth was official. She says she couldn't imagine ever loving a child more than her miracle little boy.
This is when he first came home from the hospital. This is pictures of him in his little blue outfit. Oh, having and sleeping with his daddy. Oh, he was so tiny, so precious. This looks like he was maybe a month old. And anything he was doing, I would document. Honestly, you cannot tell me in my mind that I did not birth that child, that he is not my child. I was in the actual delivery room. I basically helped deliver Stanton. All the fluids, just as if I had given birth, was all over me. Nurses, they looked at the birth mother and said, "Who's gonna hold him first? We have him ready." And she pointed at me, I will never forget it, and she said, "That's his mother. That's who holds him first." I remember holding him for the first time and just feeling this huge joy overwhelming that how could I have something so precious that's mine? I can't imagine loving a child more than I love Stanton.
You say that he's adopted, but it's hard to convince you that you didn't really have him.
I know in my mind I did not have him, but my heart doesn't tell me that.
You just feel, because you were there and...
I have often thought about having my own biological child, and it just really doesn't fit with me. I can't imagine loving a child more than I love that baby.
You think the way you mother him, it affects everything, the way he's going to be in the future and all that. Now, he's 13. He still has a blanket, a security blanket.
He loves blankets. He's loved blankets all his life. And he does have certain ones that he likes better than the others, yes.
Has a special one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he had a bunk bed in your bedroom till he was 10 years old.
Yes, that is correct.
And he often sleeps in a recliner in your room.
Periodically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say you used to carry him to the bathroom in the morning. You get him out of bed, carry him to the bathroom until he just got too big.
Don't you wish you had a mother like me? I mean, come on. I mean, you know, you don't even have to walk.
Well, he thinks the world of you. There's no question about it. We actually have a little statement from him. Let's hear from Stanton.
My mom is an amazing lady. She is just there for me all the time. I get hurt, she's there. I'm hungry, she'll help me there.
Stanton's in his game room with his apples and oranges, eating a delicious, healthy snack and doing his favorite thing, just as happy and content and safe as can be.
So I usually get up and watch TV or play games, and I alternate between the day, but I really do like playing games.
Oh, he's pretty amazing. Yes, he's really good. Quick in his fingers, too. His fingers are real fast.
Sometimes I just turn it off and just lay there for a moment to think. I'm not really too much outside, but sometimes I'm here and there.
He loves being home. It absolutely brings him so much joy.
People can think whatever they want to think, but does it really matter? I love her. I love her. She's my parent. I love her. She's nice. I love her to the most.
He does love his mama.
He's a mama's boy.
Yes, he is.
And there's nothing wrong with that, Dr. Phil. I really feel like a boy needs to respect his mom enough, because I really feel that can carry over to his marriage, to his relationships with females. And I want him to have a very strong marriage.
The woman that's gonna
Yeah,
be
bless her heart. Oh, you could.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna have a real smooth run trying to get by you. You know, I said earlier, I think there may be competing agendas sometimes, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. You said we're gonna just have to agree to disagree.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you something to disagree with when we come back. Now, I said there was a competing agenda here because you've said a couple things. I said, don't forget. You said everything that I'm doing is going to influence who he becomes. And I said, right, you're raising an adult, not a child. And when we have guests here, we ask you to send in a brief tape to let us know who you are and what your agenda is. And this is a transcript of the submission video that you sent in. I noticed something when I first heard it. You referenced you 40 times in 1 minute and 13 seconds. I went back through it and you said, I've been called, I've been known. You know, when it comes to my child, my world, my heart, I'm asked, you have, I have 3, I have my, you. When you're talking about you're talking about you yourself.
A little possessive, you think?
You think?
You think?
This is all about you.
But Stanton is a part of me.
That's not my point. My point is everything you're doing is to make you feel better. This is my child, it's my first, my only, my last. This is me, me, me. I feel safe when he's here. I feel better when I can see him. I feel at peace when he's in my bedroom. I feel better when I'm carrying him to the bathroom. I feel better when I have him at home and I can see him. Forget the fact that he is not getting an opportunity to observe himself overcoming obstacles. He's not building his self-worth and self-esteem by saying, man, I did that. Wow, I overcame that. I feel better about me. Instead, he's saying, my mother carried me to the bathroom. I'm 13 and have a blanket. My mother cuts my meat. I can't get off the porch with my friends. That's not giving him an opportunity to say, I'm growing up, I'm strong, I'm competent, I'm able to go into the world with confidence. You're stealing that from him by not allowing him to fall and scrape his knee, by not allowing him to get bullied and overcome it. And as a result, when he gets out into the world and he has to deal with people who don't think he's a precious pie, he's just another kid in competition, he doesn't have the confidence to fight back.
I think you're totally wrong, Dr. Phil. I disagree with you, because if you talk to my child, he has plenty of self-confidence.
He does until he gets out there and finds out that he didn't learn the developmental skills that he needed to compete with the others.
Compete what? I mean, why does he have to be so competitive? What?
Because that's the real world, Gina. We've got 2 boys, Jay and Jordan. Let me tell you, Robin likes to take care of her children. There's no question about it. But at 10 years old, I'd pull up in front of the basketball arena and say, okay, here's $200. You get us 2 tickets in the bowl down below, and you can keep the difference. And I'd put him on the street and let him go negotiate with the scalpers. And, you know, after a while, I would say, the game is starting in 2 minutes. He'd say, yeah, but let me tell you, let it start for 5 minutes. We'll get those tickets for half price. Jay learned about negotiation because I gave him a chance to do so.
Okay,
You've got to give him an opportunity.
You just answered my question. That was 30 years ago, Dr. Phil. Times have changed. The world has changed.
Yes,
Things are
and
different.
he has two
very
kids
different.
right now that are that age, and he's doing the same thing with his kids, and they're very sharp.
And that's great. My son is very intelligent. He's smart. He can think ahead.
How do you know he can think ahead? You think for him.
Because I live with him, because I know him, because
So he
I'm
can think
his
what's going to come
mother.
up in the den?
In the den?
You won't let him go to the mall.
Okay, there are mall shootings, school shootings. I'm not gonna back off my stance of how I'm raising my child. That was 30 years ago, the way you raised your child.
Is it possible that you're doing this to make yourself feel better instead of doing it because it prepares him for the next level of life?
I don't think there's a possibility. I do not want to be that parent that goes, if I had have known, if I had been there, because by the time you say if, Dr. Phil, it's too late.
You know, if is the middle two letters of the word life. You know, we have kids in college right now that are complaining that words hurt them physically. So they're going to the administration at universities and getting professors disciplined, suspended, and fired. They're saying they're being too hard on us. These tests are too difficult. And so they're making them back off instead of preparing them. And that's the reason this country is on the slide internationally, competitively, because we are coddling children, we are coddling young people instead of making them stand up and do what they need to do. The world's gonna eat this kid alive if you don't let him get some experience in the world. So now, helicopter parents have sent their precious little gems out into the real world. Yeah, wonder how that's working. Well, quiet quitters and lazy girl job seekers are young adults who are now looking to get hired. But hold on, bosses of the world. These Gen-Zers want to be hired on their terms, whatever in the world that even means. Yeah, well, I'll show you. I'll show you coming up. Hey, Dr. Phil here. Your savings are at risk. With the economy on shaky ground, the dollar losing value, and a $2 trillion deficit, things could spiral. Don't wait for the worst. Take control of your financial future now. I trust Preserve Gold to safeguard my accounts, and I urge you to do the same. They're the only precious metals company I recommend. What are you going to do to protect what's yours? Claim your special offer and learn how to reinforce your financial future. Visit drphilgold.com to get your free precious metals guide from Preserve Gold. With gold prices recently breaking records and analysts predicting this trend to continue through 2025, you cannot afford to wait. As a bonus, you can get up to $15,000 with a qualified purchase from Preserve Gold. So don't wait. Visit drphilgold.com today. Now, there was a time where hard work was the backbone of a family and societal value system, but boy, oh boy, have times changed. Now many young adults are not only snubbing their noses at being asked to go the extra mile on the job, but many claim they're also leading an online movement to introduce a new generation of anti-work hustle employee. An employee that has firm task and schedule-based boundaries their bosses just cannot cross. From quiet quitters to lazy girl job seekers, these workplace revolutionaries insist they are not lazy at all, they're just misunderstood.
The most entitled generation in history.
Your generation is lazy. Y'all don't want to work these days.
Younger people just don't want to work.
Gen Z doesn't want to work.
I don't want to work.
I don't want to work anymore.
What is so wrong about quiet quitting?
Quiet quitting is a trend that started on TikTok and quickly took over the internet.
Quiet quitting, bare minimum Mondays.
Being gentler with yourself.
When it comes to having a job, I don't like it. My soul is meant to be free.
We love the internet, but I will tell you one thing, it's made you lazy. Oh, it's made you lazier than you ever thought you could be.
Work smarter rather than harder. These companies want to use you and use them back.
We want to quit because we're being taken advantage of.
We can't even afford to live. My generation is frustrated. We don't want to work anymore.
Well, it's a good deal if you can get it. Joining me are Michelle, a veteran trial lawyer and law firm owner, as well as married business owners, Lucie and Eric. So you say right now you just won't hire Gen Z employees.
No, we don't. It's been a nightmare with 95% of the ones that we have hired. I once terminated an employee, and her father called me 24 hours later asking how he could help get his daughter's job back. I'd never heard of that before. When I've lost my job, I didn't tell my parents to go call for me.
Daddy didn't call and get your job back?
No, he did not.
Yeah. Were you ever fired?
Oh, yes, sir. I've been fired.
Yeah, what for?
Oh, I had not coming to work once. You know, I was in my 20s and fresh out of the military and just kind of decided to do it my own way.
Oh, you were 20 before you got fired?
Yes, sir.
Hell, I got fired 20 times before I was 20. My first job was at a pizza place, and I got fired because I was too stupid to put the drinks on the ticket. I kept forgetting that. Then I worked at A&W Root Beer Stand, and right after I got hired, they decided to put everybody on skates. Not a good idea. There's still hamburgers rolling down the street. Now, 65% of employers say they have fired a Gen Z employee, and 50% of them say they've fired them real recently. Have you had to get rid of Gen Z employees?
Absolutely, and one of the reasons is social media. It's hard to do your job and work if you're on Instagram all day. You have to actually put your phone down and do some work.
But what do you do about the tremors and seizures if they put their phone down? 'Cause don't they start shaking?
Right. You gotta have good insurance, you know, but
Yeah.
yes, it's a problem.
You actually walked in to a new Gen Z hire that'd been there like a week, and they had their feet up on the desk.
I walked into their office and sort of, you know, jumped back a little bit because literally her feet were kicked up on the desk. She had brought in her coffee maker in the bag, had like a little blanket. I'm like, wait a minute, this is a law firm, and so what are we doing?
Eric, you had one that showed up dressed like Harry Potter, posting videos.
They were doing Harry Potter TikToks. Yep. I can't make this up. And then they told me they were working, and I was like, well, a client didn't get a hold of you. And then I turned on TikTok later on that evening, and I saw when it was posted, and I was like, are you kidding me?
And listen, in fairness, that's not everybody in the generation, but it is a lot. And you've seen it.
Personally, I think it boils down to obviously how they're raised. And right now, this generation is being raised by the internet. And my husband and I have two 26-year-old children that are not on social media, not because we don't allow it, they're 26 years old, but because they see the ridiculousness of what it is.
So who are these employees who refuse to go above and beyond at the office? Next, you're gonna meet one and find out why she is proud to have a lazy girl job. We'll be right back.
Happy Bare Minimum Monday, everyone. This is where things like quiet quitting, bare minimum Mondays, snail girl era all came in. It's about just doing the bare minimum and just do your job, clock out, go home.
I'm really not feeling it today. I think I'll roll in sometime around 10:30 when I feel like it.
This younger generation of people who do not want to work. As an owner of a business, I've seen it time and again. It does not work that way. You cannot build legacy and be lazy at the same time.
Now, my next guest, Toyin, says her lazy girl job is not about working less, it's about protecting her precious time and energy.
If you were looking for a lazy girl job, I got the job for you, girl. And all these like, girl boss the heck out of your life. No. Now, when it comes to a job, I do not want a girl boss. I need a lazy girl job. I am a front desk check-in person only. Emphasis on the only. Can I get an amen?
When
going to get into my 60-day review of my lazy girl job because it is time. It is time. It is time. It is time. My time is my time. Dinner, the kitchen, everything's getting cleaned. I have a very hard time separating my work life from my personal life. When people pay you that much money, they expect you to sell your soul. It's okay to just stay in my lane. I don't have to overachieve. I don't have to prove myself. I do want to work. I just do not want to work hard.
Okay, Toyin, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You say you have no problem telling your employer no if they ask you to do something outside your job description. Does that happen a lot?
Absolutely. Every day I go to work and I'm expected to be cross-trained without any bump in pay. I'm expected to cover for people who, quite frankly, they decide when and if they want to come to work. And it's just part of my job to do their work just because I'm there, and it's a team effort. And so no, I'm not going to overextend myself and bend over backwards for companies who don't take all the little nuances of being an employee of theirs into consideration.
What do you do?
So I'm a patient care coordinator. I just make sure that the waiting room is taken care of and that people are seated and get to see their doctor on a timely manner.
So what's the last thing your boss asked you to do that you said, no, not gonna do that?
Verifying insurance. I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Because I don't want to.
And you don't think that while you're there, getting paid to be there, that you're subject to doing whatever needs to be done while you're there? You're a specialist.
I'm a specialist, yes. That's a very good way to put it, because while I'm there, I'm only there to do what I'm being paid to do.
That's a terrible approach to work, because there's an opportunity cost of doing the bare minimum. People notice excellent work, and with that then comes opportunity for growth and career advancement. And so people in your generation look at it as, they're not paying me and they're not gonna take my time and steal my time, but it's really an investment in your future to go above and beyond, because the people higher up, depending upon where you wanna go in life, will notice that kind of work. So I disagree completely with that approach.
Is above and beyond on my contract?
That's the mentality shift that I'm suggesting that you make if you want to go beyond where you're at today.
Next, a labor law attorney who insists being the first person in the office and the last to leave will get you nowhere, because he says hustle culture is a big fat lie. We'll add him to the conversation after the break.
What's good? What's good? Sorry I'm late here. Was just, scrolling TikTok. But should I be taking notes right now? All right, time for the first meeting of the day. It's 9 on the dot. Where is everyone? Oh, there they are. Happy Monday, everyone. All right, I guess it's just one of those camera off Mondays, I guess. Ethan and Cruz, we'd really love to see your guys' participation on this. No, I'm good. I'm not really feeling the vibes on this one. I don't feel like typing out a whole essay just for management to ignore it anyways, so I'm good. Later, y'all.
Now, my next guest, Ryan, is a labor law attorney who is a champion for the quiet quitting and lazy girl job movement.
If you are a quiet quitter, I have a message for you. You are right. Quit early, quit often. Employers are just gonna fire you for no reason, so is it any wonder that workers are quiet quitting? You get that dream job, but you have to think of why you want that dream job. Ever since I was a kid, I just wanted to be a firefighter. That's all I ever wanted. I wanted to be a hero. If I could talk to my younger self, I'd say, Ryan, this dream job, it's not a dream, it's a nightmare. Don't sacrifice your friendships. Don't sacrifice your family, because you're gonna be 34 years old and you're not gonna be able to call your best friend because you burned that bridge. You're gonna look at your dad's wall with the family and there's gonna be pictures of them on trips and you're not in them. I RSVP'd to weddings and didn't show up. I said I would be at birthdays and I didn't show up. That's the price I paid for my dream job. I came back from an almost 2.5-week strike team assignment. I didn't have any missed calls. But even my family I was pushing away. All because just be a firefighter. Be the best firefighter you can be. No missed calls.
Ryan, it's still hard for you to think about all the memories you lost, things that you missed working so hard in your 20s, right?
It is.
You say no employer is entitled to free labor, extra work, and I don't disagree with that. And I think that we are in a transient society where there's no institutional memory anymore. You know, people used to work for 20 years, get a gold watch, a retirement. Now they may come in, fire you at 19 years, 51 weeks, and no retirement, no gold watch, no nothing. Things have changed.
Yeah, and imagine all the sacrifice that person makes. You know, I deal with a lot of people who suddenly lose their job for various reasons. Sometimes it's illegal. Honestly, most of the time it's not. But it's a damn shame. You get people who say, I gave up everything for this company. And now a year before my pension vest, a year before I was gonna be set, they let me go. They laid us off. They acquired another company, new division, I'm redundant, I'm done, and now I have nothing.
But is the answer to that to play the game poorly along the way? Because look, my belief is that you make your own way and that everybody is in business for themselves.
I agree with
You're
that.
in business for yourself, you're in business for yourself. All of you, we're all a CEO of one. And you gotta look in the mirror every once in a while and say, you know, how's this working for me?
100%.
And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have balance. If you're working for a psychopath, kick his ass to the curb, kick her ass to the curb, and go do something else. But that doesn't mean you should represent yourself poorly wherever you are.
When you exhaust yourself for an employment relationship that is inherently one-sided, where there isn't a reward, you do not become the best version of yourself. And that's when you start to push away things that matter to you, your family, your friends,
But
how you treat
how do you
people.
assume that just across the board?
Well, how do we assume across the board that these people who are quiet quitting are undermining or sabotaging their employers? They're not, they're protecting themselves.
Well, no, I said if you're working with somebody that's exploitive, most of the people here at the Dr. Phil show have been with me the entire way, 21 years. And I had a rule, week number one, family first. And you know what? They didn't take advantage of that.
We are at a place in the past 20 years where worker productivity is up, but wages are not keeping up with that level of productivity. People are getting squeezed. We've lost sight of what real leadership is. Part of the reason you're successful here is because you opened up and showed an investment in your people. You didn't demand loyalty from day one, you commanded in it. You saw a spark, you invested in the spark, you respected boundaries, and that's why we're here in this successful studio. But organizations who insist on ruling with an iron fist because they're entitled to loyalty without giving anything in return, they're gonna fail. And of course their productivity is gonna slump.
Yeah, well, I got about 90% women working here. You don't iron fist. All right, next, a young woman who says she doesn't need a job because she can just manifest the success and wealth she wanted. We're gonna add her to the conversation after the break. You're gonna stay with us. Next guest, Shyra, says she doesn't follow all the social media work trends because she doesn't think jobs are necessary. She doesn't think they're necessary at all.
I believe that working a 9-to-5 is absolutely soul-crushing, and it's the equivalent of modern-day slavery. Every single job that I've worked at, it made me irritated, mad, and bored. And you're working so hard for something that gives you so little in return. Why I'm a professional job hopper. I cannot work a job for more than 6 weeks without getting irritated, mad, bored. It just depletes my energy. I don't like when someone can determine my schedule, when I can work, when I can take a break, if I can get vacations, how much I get paid. If you're trying to be rich, listen up. Forget everything that you've ever learned about money. Forget what your mama, your daddy, uncle, sister, grandma told you. The reason why you're not getting what you want out of life is because you're stuck in the victim mentality loop. I recently quit my job and I have everyone ask me, well, what are you gonna do for money? When are you gonna find another job? And I'm just like, I don't want to.
Wow. So you say you don't like a boss being able to control you at work or tell you what needs to be done?
Absolutely. It is so controlling, and they put out all of these fear tactics, and it's soul-crushing. It's something that we are not meant to do as people here on this earth. We are not meant to work for our money. Money is something that can come towards us.
I have a question. Do you get what they call hungry. I always valued hard work. It's probably because I grew up really poor. When I was young, I was short-sighted, and I worked hard only to get what I wanted. But over time, when you work for what you get, rather than having it handed to you, it changes who you are. You create your own experience. And I still believe in this country. There is no other country where a poor kid with an alcoholic father and periods of being homeless and living on the street can achieve the kind of success that I've enjoyed in my life. If I had one wish for some of the Gen-Zers or just young people in general, even some millennials, who believe they should only have to do what they want to do, it would be this. Today will not last. It will change. But you are the CEO of You, Inc. And you got to ask yourself, how's that working for you? Are you getting what you want? And the number one thing for me has been to do what I'm passionate about. And if you're not doing what you're passionate about, then you need to find out what that is. I love doing what I do. I don't have to do this. I could be playing golf or tennis or something else right now. It wouldn't change my life one bit. But I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I want to be here talking to all of you guys. I want to make a difference. I want to have an impact. If you do something you're passionate about, then it's not work. We're out of time. I want to thank all of my guests for being here today, and thank you at home for watching, because here at Dr. Phil Primetime and at Merritt Street Media, we're going to continue to focus on real people facing real problems in our society, and boy, do we have issues to talk about. Make sure you tell your family and friends to tune in to Merritt Street Media, because it's everywhere you can watch television. Also, I've written a book about all this entitled We've Got Issues: How All Americans Can Stand Strong for Our Country's Soul and Sanity. And it's now on sale everywhere books are sold. For more information about tonight's show, log on to drphil.com. Thanks for being here.